Hello, welcome back to the chaos that is Shani and books. Today I'm going to do a huge book haul because I don't think I've done one since maybe March was the last time I posted it. I feel like I have got my settings wrong on my camera. I look kind of washed out, but I do have spring makeup because it is officially spring in Australia, so that's fun. Kian's probably going to talk in the background. You know the drill. It's chaos here.
Look, it's extra chaos today. Kian did in fact talk through the background as well as play with noisy toys in the background, and I tried my best to edit it out the best that I could, but it was honestly unwatchable to me, so I spent an entire day downloading extra software for my computer so that I could use a more powerful software to like reduce background noise in the audio, and I did my best. It is a little bit annoying at the start, but it gets better as time goes on. I am so sorry. If you feel like skipping this video, feel free and I'll see you in the next one. But yeah, sorry, I tried.
Okay, first of all, I've spoken about in a couple of places, a couple of videos, but randomly picked up City of Bones and reread it, and now I'm going to try and get through all of Cassandra Clare's books. So I purchased the ones that I didn't already have, which it's good because a lot of them have been out for a while, so I could get some deals on used copies. So I have the entire Dark Artificers trilogy, which is Lady Midnight, Lord of Shadows, and Queen of Air and Darkness. These are huge. Like, how do I hold this and read this? Fantasy girlies, let me know. Do I need to become one of those people who owns the physical copy but actually reads the ebook? Because like, what do I do? Like, this is. But anyway, bought that trilogy, and I got that one used on eBay, which is good because I could get the tall paperbacks. I also got the tall paperbacks of the Last Hours trilogy. They have Chain of Gold, Chain of Iron, and Chain of Thorns, and these ones I was able to get the collector's first editions. They have like, that's cute, but I don't want to look at it too much because I might get spoiled. I also got a box set of something I'm not going to be able to get back in the box because I've started reading them, but it came with The Bane Chronicles, Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy, the glare, and Ghost from the Shadow Market. And then I also have The Red Scales of Magic and The Lost Book of the White, which are the only two out in the Eldest Curses series. So I also got these ones used. And I think that's all of the Cassandra Clare books I needed. I think I have like 20 now, so. I also picked up a used copy of the Shades of Magic series, a box set, because I read Vicious by V. Schwab that's been sitting on my shelf for years and I loved it, so I want to read more of her work. And I was glad to find a used copy because I don't really like the Australian covers. So this one has A Darker Shade of Magic, A Gathering of Shadows, and A Conjuring of Light. I realise I haven't been saying what they're about, but you don't really need it for those ones, right? Continuing on with fantasy, and I've already read this one. I read it this month, no, last month. But Divine Rivals finally came out in Australia, so I had it pre-ordered and ready to go, and I really liked the paperback that we got. This one is a fantasy. My camera battery's dying. No. Everyone has been loving this, and I definitely agree with the hype. I might have to change my camera. Hold on. Should we talk about more fantasy? I found this at a local used bookstore. Wicked As You Wish by Rin Chapeko. This one's also a fantasy. I'm not 100% sure what it's even about, but Rin Chapeko is a Filipino author. So I picked this one up when I saw it. I'm going in no order with these books. I'm just picking up random things. Some of these I bought, some were birthday presents because I did just recently have my birthday. Some books that I had on a list of books that I was actually interested in, and some have just been picked at random for me because sometimes family likes to know what books I want and sometimes they just give me any old book. I don't think I said that at the start. Anyway. This was a birthday present that I did actually put on a list, and I'm very excited about it. I think I'm going to read it next month for the We're All Booked book club. Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. This one is like a cozy fantasy that I've been seeing lots of hype about. Very excited to read it next month. I guess I'll do other birthday gifts. I also received Yellow Face by R.F. Kuang. This is my first book from this author. I think she's previously written mostly fantasy, but this one's literary fiction. I also received Pizza Girl, which this one is a really short one. I think it is about this young pregnant girl who becomes obsessed with this older mum in her area. Another one I've received and already read is Mame by Jessica George. This one is about this girl who has had to have a lot of responsibility within her family, and she's finally going to be living out on her own and just living an adult life for herself. And I really enjoyed this one. Another book I picked up for myself with a similar-ish premise to Mame. Really good actually, by Monica Hazley. This one is about this woman who has been in a very long-term relationship and they've just broken up, and now she is getting to live for herself. I wrote a full Goodreads review on this one going into my thoughts, but I did not really enjoy it. I much preferred this book. Let's talk about some romance. I picked up Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail. This is the second book in the companion series, what it's called. Delilah Green Doesn't Care is the first one. This is following another friend in the friend group. I didn't enjoy this as much as Delilah Green because I wasn't as much of a fan of Astrid as I was Delilah. I just don't really like reading from like privileged rich people. I prefer other things, but I did still enjoy it, and I'm excited for the third book, which comes out I think next month. I also picked up X's and O's by Amy Lee. I have read this one also. I didn't super love it as well. I think I talked about this in a wrap-up recently. I'll eventually get to wrap-ups for all my books. But I will pick up from this author again because it wasn't like the writing style. It was the main character started to annoy me. Another one I spoke about in that wrap-up, I didn't really enjoy, but lots of people do. Happy Place by Emily Henry. This is her newest book. I'm still going to pick up from her. I love her banter. I think she's really funny. I just don't like Friends to Lovers or second chance romance, which this is both. Another romance, The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. This one I think is very popular. I did enjoy it. Not my favourite ever, but it definitely pulled me out of a bit of a slump I was having. It's just really fluffy and easy to read, easy to get through. No third act breakup, closed door. But this one is Friends to Lovers, so I actually am surprised that I enjoyed it so much. A romance that I did enjoy, Abby Jimenez. Yours truly. I loved Part of Your World last year. Was very excited to pick up her newest work, and I did really enjoy this one despite the fact that it has a miscommunication trope. These are co-workers, so it's kind of like an office romance. Also fake dating. The male main character has anxiety, and really loved all the way that that was written throughout the book. I don't think I've left a review on this one, and I haven't done it in a wrap up, but I need to like collect my thoughts so that I can give better opinions. But I did enjoy this one. And how fun is like the lime green cover? More romance. I have A Merry Little Meet Cute, which is a Christmas romance. This one's by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone. I got an arc of the second book in this little series, and I read that in July, and I did enjoy it. So I picked up this one, which I'll probably read in December, and it is a Christmas romance. I think it's a plus-sized main character, so that's fun also. I also have In the Weeds by B.K. Borison. This is the second book. I think the first one is actually a Christmas romance. I haven't read it yet, but I have read this one. Didn't love it. I just thought it had a lot of talent and not a lot of showing, but it could be for a lot of other people because it's very popular. Another birthday present. This one is from Sasha from Sash Reads. Always Only You by Chloe Lees. This is also the second book in a series. Lots of seconds in a series here. I haven't read from this author before, but I've been hearing a lot of great things, and I think I'm really going to like this one. I'll probably read it hopefully within the next month or two. But thank you, Sasha. Let's do some books that were given to me as gifts that I had never heard about. They were just picked out for me. The Theory of Not Quite Everything. Never heard of this one, but it looks like it is following two siblings, which I do like in books. So this could be something for me. It looks like one of the siblings is in search of her soulmate, and the other sibling has a mathematical plan to help her. So it sounds fun. I've never heard anyone talk about it. So hopefully it's good when I get to it. This is a random non-fiction, Embracing Your Limitations. How to accept your inner loser and win at life. Do not read self-help really at all, so this will be interesting. I think it's also written by a comedian. I think he's an Australian comedian, but I will give it a try. I hadn't heard of this one when I was given it, but I've since seen it talked about a lot. Wayward by Amelia Hart. I think this one is a fantasy. The US cover is a lot better than the one in Australia. I was going to read this for Jan's book club, but then I never got around to it the month that it was happening. I've been really slack with book club this year. I need to work on that, but I am still willing to give this a try. Another one I had never heard of, The Dangers of Female Provocation. Oh, looks like female revenge story. She catches her husband having an affair. This one I also never heard of, but this concept really scares me. And so this is about a couple who have been struggling to conceive. They end up going through IVF, and then everything seems perfect, but she gets a call to say that her egg and another woman's egg were switched. And this is when their children were 10 months old. That is such a scary concept to think, like a baby getting switched with another person's baby. So I'm scared to read this. And then the next one that I've never heard of is The Science Project. A girl is mother who moves into a tent at the bottom of their garden, and from that day on she never says a word. 8 years later, Rachel and thousands of her followers around the world burn themselves to death. So it sounds like a cult book. Never heard of it, but I'll give it a try. And then another book, this one is from the list of books that I was interested in and had heard of. So this one is the second book in the Finlay Donovan series, Finlay Donovan Knocks Him Dead. Still haven't read it, I've still only read the first one, but I loved the first one. But I've seen that people dislike the books as they go on, so I'm scared to try the second one, but we'll see how we go. And this one is kind of a cozy mystery series. Another one I'm not sure if I'll like, but it was on sale. It was really discounted at Kmart. Carrie Soto is back, and I guess that was because they were getting rid of the large paperbacks to bring in the small ones, so I grabbed this one when it was half price. And this one is about a tennis player, and I'm not really interested in tennis, but I have liked everything from Taylor Jenkins Reid, so I am still going to try it. Let's do some more books that I picked up at my local used bookstore. Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon. The Sun is also a star by this author, and I really enjoyed it despite it being young adult. So when I saw this one, I thought I'd pick up more from her, and hopefully I enjoy it. Okay, also a young adult book from the used bookstore. The Boy Who Steals Houses by C.G. Drews. This one is an Australian author as well, and I follow them on Instagram. And even though I don't really read young adult as much, I'm hoping you like this one. I also found a used copy of Honeybee by Craig Silvey. I think I have the audio book for this one. I got as like a free Audible audiobook 1 month. So got the physical copy. I honestly have no idea what it's about. I think it's like a literary fiction book, but I don't know. I just, whenever you see stuff at the used bookstore, you just grab it if you've seen it before. Okay, a recent one that I just got, but I bought a used copy online of The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. This one is a horror book, which is not my most read genre, but I do think I'll like this because I think it follows mums, and it's obviously a women in a book club, which love that. So I don't know. I'm gonna see. I feel like this could be a fun time. What do we think? Have we read this one? Let me know.
It's been so long since I recorded this video that I have since announced my book club, in which this book is actually the very first book that we are reading. So if you want to join me this month in October, you can read the book and we will discuss it at the end of the month. But yeah, sorry, I recorded this ages ago and I have just spent forever editing it.
A random one that I picked up. I don't know why I picked this up. I just did one day. Thursdays of Orange Blossom House by Sophie Green. The pink cover just drew me in, but I think this is like old ladies, and I feel like I need more books with old lady characters because this follows a 74-year-old lady, a former cane farmer. There's also a high school teacher and a cafe owner. I think this is just, I mean, it's an Australian book and I do like when things are set in Australia. A lot of the books I read are US based, so it's nice to get like that homey feel, but also I love pink, if we couldn't tell. And this cover just really got me, so I don't know. I'll read that one and see what I think of it. I also have Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. I've seen loads about this one. I'm hoping I'm gonna like this one. I think it's historical fiction. Yeah, early 1960s, a woman in an all-male team at the Hastings Research Institute. So I hope this one is going to be good. I really like the cover. I feel like that's really fun. And next I have Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. I have not read anything from this author, but I think she's also Filipino. So maybe I should do another reading Filipino authors vlog. I haven't done one of those in a while since I have a couple of new Filipino books. But some of this author's books are fantasy, and I think this one is like literary fiction. It's not a romance. I don't think it's a romance. I think it's like a toxic relationship, or am I thinking of a different book? I don't really know. I'm gonna read this one and find out. Does it have something to do with bees? Because there's like the hexagon pattern and these are bees. We will find out when we read it. And lastly, I think. A book that I have actually already read, but I wanted this copy. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. They did just come out with another paperback, like in the small version, but this is the one with the holographic waves, and I really wanted this, and I saw it pretty cheap at Kmart, so I grabbed it, and I love this book, so I'm happy to have another copy. And I do have a plan for the copy that I already owned that is not the holographic version. I'm gonna reread this, I think. I've already read it once this year at the beginning of the year, but I think I might reread it just because I feel like annotating it the second time. And this is about, I'm sure you've heard, characters, spans over like what, 30 years or something. They first meet when they're kids in a hospital game room, and then it just spans over the course of their life as they come in and out of each other's lives and develop some video games together and experience life together. And I really, really liked this. So I'm just one of those people that owns multiple copies of books that I like. And there's nothing wrong with that, because book collecting is just as valid of a hobby as book reading is. And now the little shelf that I had all of my recently purchased books on is empty, and I can finally put all of these books away. I'm so sorry this was so chaotic, because I know that Kim was talking in the background, and hopefully I can edit it out and it's not too annoying. Let me know if you've read any of these books, or which one you recommend that I should pick up first. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say for this video. Just sorry once again for the chaos, and I will see you in the next one, which will hopefully be better. But thank you for being here. I do appreciate you very, very much. And I'll see you next time. Bye!